welcome to our tutorial portion of our video. I want to talk just a quick second about double-sided printing. Now, not everybody has that on their printer, so this is a quick and easy way in order to be able to do it, to accomplish what we're doing here. So as you can see with this paper, number one, I've not turned on the borderless function on my printer because I don't know if you have one. So I want to make it so that no matter what your printer is, you can do this. So what happens is if you're choosing this paper from our Magnolia Blossoms collection, this is the green floral, you simply run it through and print it just like you would print. So there it is, it prints out. Now what you do is you feed your paper in so that, depending on how your printer feeds, some printer, you put it in like this and it goes around and then it prints on this side. Some paper, it goes straight through. So make sure you feed your paper in so that you are now going to print out your second paper. So simply, you now print out your second paper and there you go. You have it. Here is double-sided print. So we have the inside printed here. We have the outside printed here. We're good to go for our project. So there's the start of it. What we're going to do now is cut this paper down to size. Okay. Before I say that, there's one thing to mention is when you print off this paper, if this is the one that you choose to use, this obviously has some words on it, some flowers. Look at the pattern that you're using for your inside. Print it landscape. Okay. Don't print it. Normally, you know how printers print this way. Okay. This one we want to print this way because of how it opens up, and you'll see that, and I'll show that to you. This will be evident when we go through this, but this needs to be, the second paper, the inside paper needs to be printed in landscape mode, and all you do is change that on your printer setting when that little printer window comes up when you're printing, and you tell it to print in landscape rather than portrait. Okay? So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to simply trim off the white edges. Then as our finished card is going to be 9 inches wide and 5.5 inches tall, I'll cut it down to size and I'll be right back. Okay, so now that we've trimmed off that, first off, we trimmed off the white border around all the paper. Then we measured or put into our paper cutter so that our card is 9 inches by 5.5 inches. And then we simply measure out, because we want to divide this into thirds, we measure at 3 inches and 6 inches, okay? We take our scoring tool, and as you can see, we're measuring and scoring from the inside, on the inside paper, because these are going to be folded over, and then that way we won't see any of our lines. We score those two areas, so that way, when we fold it up, there we have it, finished folded card. Now, when you do this, before we do the next step, have a look at the paper that you've chosen, because what we're going to end up doing is we need to cut these out and cut out the tabs. So we're going to be going from the top corner and cutting and down to the bottom corner and cutting this piece off. So have a look at what you would have left here. Have a look at what you would have left here. So you think, I like what would be left. We'll cut this off. I like this cluster in here. This is going to get cut out. I like these areas in here. It kind of complements in there. So that's probably the good way to cut this, rather than having this one on the first folded and this one folded over top, right? That's all I'm trying to show you here, is make sure to have a quick look before you actually make this next cut. So what we're going to do is we're going to, let's just fold that over, make it a little easier here. So we are going to want to place our ruler there in order to get this angle, and we are going to cut from corner to corner here, which goes down like so. And we're also going to want to do the same thing here, cutting from this corner down to this corner. So just like so. And we will cut that out. And so this is what it looks like with our edges trimmed off. And as you can see, I also have this tab. So remember, this was 5.5 inches. Well, this is the reason, is we have a 1/2 inch glue strip down here that we're making. I just ran this through my paper cutter. And as you can see, there really isn't a measurement for this. Just run it as far as you want, because you want that glue strip to only be in this middle portion. So it doesn't matter if it's a little lopsided like mine is or whatever. It doesn't have to be a certain exact measurement, because what's going to happen is we are going to apply some glue and on our little glue strip here. Okay, and we decided that we were folding this piece over first. So there's that, okay? And then we place a little glue on here. And we fold this side over. And voila, we have our card made. How do you like that? It was that simple. So as I mentioned before, let's just have a quick peek at the inside. See how nicely that paper worked out? I've got the adored, I've got the flowers in there. It's every bit as nice on the inside as it is on the outside. Now, let's grab our stuff for our tag. And the tag itself, I measured, let's just measure it real quick here for you. The tag I ended up printing out at about 2 3/4 by about 4 3/4 so that it can easily slide in and out, right? It's not going to bind. That's a good size for that tag. Obviously, I've chosen to print out a second piece of the stamp because that does come individually in the kit. So then that way I can decoupage that. I've also chosen this circle because I thought it would look nice up here and give you a pull tab at the top. Gives you something more to hang on to that kind of extends by. You decide whether that's what you want to do or not. And as well, I have the front sentiment label that I can affix on there with some, put it up on some foam dots so that way it gives it some dimension as well. And you can either do your sentiment and put it on here with font work and before you print it, or you can handwrite on here. So this can be happy birthday, this can be happy anniversary, this can be friendship, a wedding, or whatever it is that you want, so that you end up with the finished tag that looks like that. Okay, so thanks for tuning in, folks, to see how to make this pocket card. As you can see, this is super, super easy. And I hope that you'll actually take some time today in order to make one yourself. Now, I'm glad that we could share this with you. And before you leave, please feel free to subscribe to our channel so that way you'll be made aware of any time we put up new videos. And also, when you're making projects like this or any other projects you make with your Knitwit Collection stuff, feel free to join our Knitwit Collections Neighborhood Facebook group. It is a great place. It has really blossomed into a great community for people to share their projects, learn, ask questions, and really just enjoy the love of crafting. So thanks for tuning in and hope you'll make this yourself.